Hey everyone, today we're playing some Total War Warhammer 3. I want to talk about it for a bit. I just achieved victory. Not complete victory, but I achieved so every faction has like a story, and I got the good ending, if that makes sense, which counts as a win. Now I'm still at war with like 20 factions, but because I ended their story, it counts as a win. I even got the achievement, win a campaign. But you can see this is still going. It's not a total and complete victory. To actually win the game, you need 272 building destructions, which is a lot. You can see right there, I'm over halfway to the goal. Well, actually, no, I'm halfway to the goal. Maybe less. So let me show you what I control now, and it feels like a lot. I feel like I control a lot of the map. So all of this is mine. All this green here is mine. And what's interesting is this was actually lava at the start of the game. This whole map was lava, and when you take over it, it goes from lava to grass and forest, which is interesting. Sorry about that. I have food next to me, and there's salt. I think the smell of the salt made me sneeze. So sorry about that. I could start over, but it's a really huge pain. So I'm just gonna keep going. But yeah, I just want to make a short video saying I finally get it. I get why Total War is popular. This feels a lot like Endless Space 2. And I'm a huge fan of Endless Space 2. I can play that game forever. I'm in love with that game. And this is basically Endless Space 2, but more. I'm actually surprised by how much they jammed into this game. There's a shocking amount of content in this game. It's kind of nuts. Now, the one thing I will say about Total War is it never pushes you in any direction. There's no real goal. There's no real... as soon as you start story mode, it's like, here's an army, here's a bad guy, go from there. And this is a very make your own decision kind of game. Once you take out your first bad guy, the game is never like, okay, you should attack this guy next. You can do whatever you want. But the game, I would say it doesn't really hold your hand at all. The game is very difficult. It's extremely difficult. So right now I have about 50 hours in, and I just got my happy ending, which is this. I know happy ending is funny, but so happy ending is the long victory. The long victory was really annoying. You have to control 60 towns, and you also need to control this, which is a lot. This is a crap ton of land. I have to control all of it. Actually, I don't control Norland, but I did get the achievement. I just noticed I don't have Norland controlled. But I think Norland got destroyed. So whatever. So the goal for the Empire is to hit this button. And you want all these circles filled up. And then I was able to do it. It took absolutely forever. But I was able to fill up all these circles. And it took a crazy amount of time. Absolutely crazy amount of time. It takes like 5 turns to get from here to here. So it takes like 80 turns or more just to walk around the map. the go from like here to here is about 10 turns. It takes a super long time to get from. And the thing is, all these guys are fighting like demons. So this guy's fighting a demon. This guy's fighting demons. This guy's fighting demons. They're all fighting demons. So you have to help them out through a war. You can double team a war. So 2 humans against demons. And it's not easy. Like, it's really not. But the way demons work is they have a crazy powerful army, but their cities are very weak, from what I can tell. So destroying their cities was really easy, but actually fighting chaos was incredibly hard. This is a very difficult game, for sure. But I come around, I see why Total War is popular, and I really enjoy it. So you can see here, I'm making 20 grand every turn. Each of these guys... Here, let me click on someone.
I command here.
So this guy costs 4 grand to keep alive. But he also boosts my economy by 20%. So, and a lot of these guys have a discount. But, so it costs 4 grand to keep this guy alive.
Yes, my lord.
3 grand.
Yes, my
3 grand.
What does the emperor bid?
3 grand. So this army here costs about 12 grand to keep alive. And I have armies in every corner of the map because you kind of have to get the happy ending. You have to go to every corner of the map to win. Now you just need to control it for a little bit of time. You don't need to control it forever. As long as you control it for a little bit of time, it's good enough for it to count. So really, once you get to that area, you really only have to win 2 or 3 fights in every area on the map. Now you see this map right here? I explored all of it. So, and it took absolutely forever. Well, not this white space. This white space here. You can see this white spot here. I think that's pretty much the edge of the map. I'm not going. Okay, it took me like 20 hours. It took me 20 hours to explore the map. Each turn is like 10 minutes. It took me 20 hours to explore the map, and I'm not going past. I'm not going any further. Also, I just straight up can't. So right here is cold, and if I touch cold, I just die. So right here is suitable climate. I get positive bonuses for being in suitable climate. And in snow, this will be red. And I get like -10 everything. So if I touch snow, I don't die right away, but I die like pretty quick. I want to show you the other factions real quick. I think I did an alright job. So according to my ranking, I think I'm 6. I'm the 6th strongest empire. I think everybody starts out with 1 commander and 1 army, and from there they have to. It's good luck, you know what I mean. So I want to show you my army, which is this one, I think. So this is a lot of information. So yeah, I'm ranked 6. Okay, so I'm the 6th strongest empire. I think that's pretty good. The game starts out with 250. There's 250 empires. 20 of them are a real threat, like a major threat, and the other 230 or whatever, you can just kind of walk over all over them. You can kind of just walk over the 230 empires, no problem. But while you're doing that, while you're killing 200 empires, the real major ones get more and more powerful. So eventually, over time, the real threat becomes, they might be stronger than you. Alright, so here's my relationship. So this guy is the 17th strongest empire. Not bad. You can see there we're friends. This guy Chaos Dwarves. He just has this one house, and this house has like nothing in it, so he should be dead in a turn or two. He just has this one house, and that's it. He should be dead like any second. Dark Elves, 38th, no, 7th strongest empire. So they're in a map that's super far away, and I'll probably die. If I touch this grass, I'll probably die. I can explore like the tip of the land, but I can't explore here, like this river. If I get to this river, I just die. I have about 5 turns before I die. Now there is a way to heal, but the heal is much slower than the damage. So it does. I can't really. It's pretty much impossible to take this land. There's no way. These guys, they're stronger than me. You can see right here. They're the 4th strongest empire. These guys are a huge pain in the butt. They're dark elves, and they're at war with the high elves. I don't know if I can kill these guys at all, to be honest. These guys aren't really a threat. These guys here or whatever. I'm gonna skip a bit. Dwarves are doing really well. They're pretty strong. It looks like I'm stronger than them, but if you ask me, I think they're actually stronger. So dwarves got 11th rank. I'm friends with them. They wanted like 50 grand. I had to give them 50 grand to be friends. The Grand Cafe. This is like I don't know, China maybe? I'm not really sure. But they have dragons and jade and stuff. So I would say they're like Asian. These guys are top 10 in strength. They have a really nice spawn. So over here is all chaos. And over here is like the ice people, the snow people. And then over here you got like the evil dwarves. I think this is actually a pretty nice spawn if you ask me. And then here you got the other Asian people. They're actually strength 1. So these guys here basically win the game. Unless I triple team them. There's like no way I win. Then you have the high elves. The high elves keep demanding my help. I can be in their land. It doesn't hurt me to be in their land. But crossing this water takes like 6 turns. It takes 6 turns to go from here to here. And it's just a huge pain in the ass. So helping these guys isn't really possible. Then you have the lizard people. The lizard people seem alright. They seem pretty chill. So I got like a relationship going with them. They seem like okay people. The Vikings have been attacking me every turn, and they're super annoying. These guys ride around in mammoths, and I destroyed like all of this, but this one right here, this is their actual house. It takes like 20 turns. It takes 20 turns to go from here to the coast. It takes 20 turns to go from the coast to this right here. Actually, their main house is like right here. So I did end up destroying all this, but somehow they came back. I killed these guys like 20 times, but you can see here that they made a comeback. These guys are raiders. Every time they attack, they get a huge bonus. I'm more of a like a friendship faction. So you can see here, I made friends with everyone, and that's basically where my strength is coming from. What else? These are Vikings, but they look different. They're the same faction. Again, Vikings, but they look different. Okay, all these guys are Vikings. There's the same faction, but different name. And then you have...
The over tyrant.
Yeah, the ogres. So the ogres are these big, huge mountain guys who are kind of dumb. But you can see here they're friends of me. And it was very easy for me to ally with them. Now in the story, they're mercenary hires who like to eat. They're like cannibals. They'll eat anything. And it was really easy for me to be friends with them. And I actually have an ogre army. You can share armies in this game. So if I wanted to make an ogre army, I can. I can totally make an ogre army. So I can also make an elf army, which is pretty cool. And then you have these guys here who aren't really a threat. They just stand here and do nothing. They wait for you to show up. So these guys are not a threat like at all. They're also super far away. Like I can't get over there. It's way too far. It's just absolutely too far. So all these guys here, rogue armies, they don't do anything for like 50 turns. They don't do anything. They're waiting for you to show up. It's basically free money. They're just there. They're free money if you want it. So all these guys here, they're just nobodies really. They don't do anything. They don't talk to you. They're kind of just AFK. They just don't do anything really. Skaven are pretty much wiped out. They weren't that hard to fight. I thought Skaven were pretty easy to fight. Then you have Tzeentch, or not Tzeentch, Slaanesh. Slaanesh was pretty hard. Slaanesh was the hardest for me. So I have a gun faction, and these guys just run faster than the guns. I know that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but they run faster than my guys can aim. So I just could not shoot these guys. And they pretty much countered my army. I have a really difficult time dealing with these guys. They're just too fast. The undead. These guys were friends of me, but now they're at war. I'm not sure what happened. But I'm okay with killing these guys. They look pretty evil. So I'm alright with killing them. Tzeentch has been running around destroying my houses. They're not really a threat. I found Tzeentch pretty easy to deal with. They stand in one spot and shoot me, and I stand in one spot and shoot them. So we have this kind of a staring contest, and it's not hard. I think fighting them is pretty easy. Then you have actual I think this is Undivided Chaos. Undivided Chaos is such a pain in the ass. They have everything. Every demon. Undivided Chaos is such a huge pain in the ass. And they're so aggressive. They'll attack you like all the time. It's a huge pain in the ass. Wood Elves never did anything to me. They never talked to me. Nothing happened. So Wood Elves never did anything. But I was friends with them. I can walk in their land and not take damage. So Wood Elves were kind of a nobody people. So, now that's out of the way. This is what like a maxed out house looks like. It's not like fully maxed out, but fully maxing out something. To me, fully maxing out a house is not worth it. It's way too expensive. So my most expensive unit is like 3 grand, and maxing out this house is like 10 grand. And to me, that's not worth it. I can have 3 super soldiers or 1 building, and I'd rather have the 3 super soldiers. So this is my house. It's not completely fully upgraded, but I do have tanks unlocked. It's really hard to make an army of tanks. Each one takes like 5 turns to make, so it takes like 20 turns to make a tank army. And yeah. And tanks do really bad against mammoths. My mammoths the mammoths just tore right through my tanks, no problem. So it's not even that strong of an army. It kind of tricks you. So you can see here, tier 5, which is the strongest. That's a tank. And the mammoths just rolled right through them. So I don't know what tier mammoths are. But I've been fighting mammoths all day. So maybe they're tier 2 or tier 3. But mammoths just completely counter me. For mammoths, I had to make like halberds. I just made a crap ton of halberds, which is a tier 2 unit. And I think halberds are my only real way of dealing with them. And also cannons. So this one right here. Cannons. Cannons are anti-mammoth, and like halberds are anti-mammoth. So I just made a halberd cannon army, and that worked. Now if your cannons get attacked, they just die instantly. They have no health or armor, so they get like one-shotted by anything. So the halberd guys are... I need like 20 halberd guys and 2 cannons. If you make a pure cannon army, they just die instantly to anything. But yeah, and Sonesh just dodged everything. I couldn't hit him at all. So, yeah. Anyways, this is my very first Total War win. This took like 5 tries. I kept losing to the Beastmen. I had no idea how Beastmen worked. They were like a horde faction. They hit just as hard as me, but there's twice as many of them. It was like 1,000 versus 500. And Beastmen were insanely hard to beat. But if you kill their leader, Beastmen like give up. But killing their leader is really hard. Their leader is like super powerful. So their weakness is their leader, but also killing him is like impossible. So I found, if I zoom out here, I can show you my map. So everything, you see this green outline? So that's me. So I control a lot. Oh, that's why I don't have Nordland. I just lost it a turn ago. These guys, the mammoth people, took my... I did have Nordland a turn ago. But yeah, so all this here is mine. So this whole... pretty much everything red is mine. So you can see how much land I have. And this is mine. And right over here is the ogre faction, which to me they won the game. They were my biggest ally, but they were also a huge pain in the ass because they took land I needed. I needed this land to like win the game, and ogres took it first. So ogres is a snowball faction. They start out super weak, but they snowball pretty hard. So and I think ogres have been around on this is turn 250. I think after 250 turns they snowballed really hard. The computer is actually really hard to deal with. It's extremely smart. You can see right here. This is mine. This red. You can see I control this. But yeah. Anyways, and this is what the wood elves. So I can zoom in here. They have like this really cool tree. The wood elves. I'm not gonna play wood elves, but they look beautiful. They look absolutely stunning. And I was looking at the miniatures, and the miniatures look god awful. But the game looks great. It took me a while to get the hang of the visuals. So the battles look absolutely fantastic, and the map looks fantastic. But everything else looks like mud. I still stand by that. But if you make the game pretty, you see how large this map is? If you make the game look pretty, it just makes your computer screw up. It like completely screws up your computer. So it's pretty much impossible to play this with high graphics on, because it's just too big. So humans have about, I can show you this. There's like 20 guys I can recruit. I might be able to show you who I can. Here, if I do this. Let's just do this real quick for funsies. Let's just do that for funsies.
I will marshal the men to the provinces.
See if I can. I need them inside the castle. There we go. Okay, so this is my unit roster. So down here is local. Local is cheaper. And up here is global. Global is more expensive. But basically, all you have to do is make a military building once, and you're good to go. You really don't need to make 10 military buildings. So this is my roster as the Empire. It's not a bad roster. These are all tier 2 units. I think up here is my tier 3 units. So this guy here is 1400. That's a tier 3 unit. I think it's a flying horse. It's a flying horse of a halberd. So I said before, halberds are really good. And this is a flying horse of a halberd. And these are my tanks. You can see there, they're like 2 grand each. Or this is 2 grand. That one. This tank here is 1,000. I think 1,000 is actually pretty cheap. It's cheaper than the horses. Yeah, this horse is 500. It's 500 more than the tank, which is interesting. But yeah. Then I have like this Gatling gun guy. That costs 300. This missile pod. That costs 300. But yeah, this is my unit roster. This looks gorgeous. I like the art a lot. But in the game, they do kind of look like mud. If I were to click on this guy. So he looks kind of like mud, but you get used to it after a while. And if you bump the graphics all the way up, the game is like kind of unplayable. It's like 20 frames per second. And it does not feel good. So, but yeah. So this is my unit roster, and I also have like friendship rosters. So I can get any of the wood elves here. You can see there. When the wood elves get stronger, I can hire their. You can see there, I can hire their best unit. And this doesn't cost me any money, so I can hire their best unit for free. Look at that, like a fire dragon. I can get a fire dragon in 2 turns, for basically for free. And then you have what is it? The what is it? No. The ogres. I can hire any of the ogres. All these guys are really strong. Lead belchers. Lead belchers are one of the strongest units in the game. I can get that for free. So I can get the strongest unit in the game for free, basically. The Chinese guys, I can hire any of their stuff. So that's pretty cool. I can get all this stuff here for basically free. And then you got the dwarves. I can get all their stuff for basically for free. It's a good game. That's what I'm trying to say. I came around to it. I had a bad. The tutorial is awful. The tutorial is garbage, and the guy who gives you advice is garbage. But I think the game is good. I came around to it. I like the map a lot, but it does take 10 turns to cross the ocean. It takes like 10 turns to go from here to here. So helping out your buddy is like impossible. It's really hard. I know some factions have like a teleport, I can see that being overpowered. But yeah, so I played as the humans. The humans felt very basic. Just swords and halberds and tanks. Nothing, honestly, nothing interesting happened. To me, these guys weren't that interesting. Now the wizards are pretty cool. The wizards have like alchemy powers. I thought that was cool. I don't know if I can show you my wizards. The wizards are pretty cool. This guy's pretty cool. She has like a dragon. So she comes with a dragon. So that's kind of cool. I like the spectacle. Like the big fights. Like the big spectacles. I'm not a huge fan of these tiny fights. They just don't look cool. I think the wizards look... to me, the wizards are really cool. But they suck in combat. The wizards are god-awful in combat. So yeah, basically, none of these guys are actually that strong. Even my main dude...
Ready.
This is my main dude, and he kind of sucks. To be honest. He's not that great. So... I like this game a lot, but he's honestly not even that good. So my damage right now is 74 per hit. And I've seen online there's characters that do more damage. So my damage is whatever. You would think my main guy would be my most powerful unit, but he's really not. He kind of sucks. Really the only thing that's good about him is his aura buff. I can buff up my allies. That's really the only good thing about him. Other than that, he kind of sucks. So fighting with the Empire was really hard because it's just such a basic army. I had to pretty much make counter units. Whoever I was fighting, I needed to make a counter army. I couldn't have one army fight everyone. I needed a counter army for each guy. And that's basically how I won. So you really need to understand the matchups, and you really need to understand the counter units. And when it comes to weapons and gear, they change your weapons out automatically. You can see my brand new guy has a really nice sword. So I just let the game automatically change my gear. The game automatically changes my weapons. And after 250 turns, I just didn't care anymore. So I just decided, hey, if you want to change all my weapons out, fine by me. I was alright with it. I just didn't care after a while. So that's the Human Empire. It's a very okay faction, I think. It's kind of a bland faction. But anyways, I just won. I won by basically controlling all the land. I had like crap ton of land. You can see that. But the land did start out as lava, and I had to fix it, which took forever. It took forever to get rid of all the lava. If you play this game, you know what I mean. But the whole map was like lava, and I had to fix it. And to do that, I need to get rid of the herdstone. If you get rid of the herdstone, it gets rid of all the lava. And I didn't know that until I looked it up. Because the lava would not go away. So I looked up how do you get rid of the lava. Anyways, this is my first win. I'm starting to like Total War. It's pretty cool. The only thing that's really annoying is the computer will focus down your weakest unit. So whoever your weakest unit is, it'll just focus that guy down to oblivion. They'll send 50 guys to kill your weakest guy. So if you have a weak guy in your army, the computer will just focus him down. And it's extremely annoying. If you have any weakness in your army at all, it's really hard to deal with. So really the only way to win is by having an overpowered army with no weaknesses. Which everything in this game has a weakness. Everything has a weakness in this game. But you kind of need an army of no weaknesses because the computer will focus down a certain guy. It's really annoying. The computer is extremely annoying. That's kind of why I auto fight everything. When you auto fight, it's basically saying your army does not counter this army. It's really annoying. I can have the most powerful army ever, but if they're not counter units, I still lose. Even with the most powerful army ever. The counter damage is just absolutely insane. If you have counter units, it's crazy how important they are. But yeah. What's interesting is I start out with Spearmen, and Spearmen is a counter unit. And Spearmen were good start to finish. Even turn 250, Spearmen were pretty good. So even my weakest unit, honestly not that bad. They're an okay unit. Now archers, as far as I can tell, they have no counter damage at all. They're just a basic attack. So archers were actually useless. They did no counter damage. The bad guy kept focusing them down as soon as the game started. So archers were actually beyond useless. So, but yeah, that's my thoughts on the game. That's my thoughts on the Empire. It took me a long time. The game never pushes you to a spot. So it took me a long time to figure out where to go. And it takes like 10 turns to go anywhere. So knowing where to go is like half the game. But yeah, I really enjoyed this game. It took me... It's an uphill battle for sure. It has a really high learning curve. And I'm pausing the game so it's easier on my computer. I'm pretty sure if I pause the game, my computer can rest and take a break. But anyways, that's it. I wanted to make a quick video on Total War. Thanks for watching. I will do Soulstorm again. But I am really enjoying Total War. I'm not going to make a million videos on Total War. I'm just not that good at it. And there's like 50 things happening at once. So I don't think... I'm not really the expert here. I don't know if I can be a good Total War YouTuber. So I think I will stick to Soulstorm. But anyways, that's my 2 cents. I actually did win campaign. So I think I'm done here. I'm not gonna do Empire again. Empire was alright. They're like underdogs. They're normal guys fighting demons. They're normal everyday guys fighting demons. So that's pretty cool. But to me, they're just not interesting. I'd rather have like aliens and like magic. Their magic is ass. I had 3 wizards and they had no kills. I don't know. I don't know if I'm using magic wrong. Maybe I'm using magic wrong, but magic seems totally ass. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on the game. Thanks for watching. I don't know if I'll play Empire again. I might do a guide, like the first 10 turns. Maybe I'll do something like that. But anyways, thanks for watching. Bye.